Hello everyone and welcome back to another top 5 under $100 video. So you guys love this series so much that I decided to make another one. If you're new around here and you don't know what I'm talking about, basically in this series I list out the top 5 pieces of hardware that you could get for literally under $100. Today we're going to be taking a look on how to get a gaming capable CPU for under $100. And you can actually have a great time playing with these CPUs. You can have a smooth experience with these CPUs, granted you pair them with a powerful graphics card. So if you want to see a video where I listed out the top 5 GPUs that you can get for literally under $100, be sure to click on the card on the top right corner of the screen and you'll be redirected to that video. I basically listed out like 5 graphics cards that you could get for literally under $100 in 2018, so be sure to check that video out if you are interested. But anyways, let's just jump into the video. If you guys could ever be kind enough to drop a like, it would be actually amazing. But anyways, let's just go to the CPU number 1, which is a Ryzen 3 2200G. So this is a Ryzen 3 CPU. If you're new to PC gaming or PC hardware stuff, you might think that AMD is not really that great with CPUs, and you might think that Intel is way better, but that's not actually the case, because actually AMD has actually caught up with the technology of Intel, and they can actually deliver the same if not better experience for cheaper prices. So AMD is not that bad. You might actually run into trouble trying to find like a motherboard, but if you already have a motherboard that supports the CPUs, there's no problem at all. I'm just going to be listing out the CPUs. I'm not going to be talking about the motherboards, so there's that. But the CPU number 1, as I said before, is the Ryzen 3 2200G. So this CPU is actually amazing for gaming, granted if you pair it with the right graphics card, game with basically, so you can actually just depend on the CPU to game. This CPU has got 4 cores and 4 threads. It is also clocked at 3.5 GHz, and this CPU's base clock is 3.5 GHz, and you can actually overclock it up to 4 GHz. So this CPU actually scored 107 points in the single core benchmark, 430 points in the quad-core benchmark, and 410 points in the multi-core benchmark. So the multi-core benchmark is not really that great, but you can actually achieve a lot like using this CPU, so I definitely recommend it. This CPU actually sells for $100, so you can get your hands on it for literally $100. That's why this CPU made it to the list. So in the number 2 spot, we've got the AMD Ryzen 3 1200. So this is an AMD CPU. As you can tell, it's a Ryzen CPU. It is actually amazing. I actually chose the CPU in my how to get a gaming PC for literally under $100 video that I made like 2 weeks ago, so be sure to check it out. If you want to check out that video, just click on the card on the top right corner and you'll be redirected there, but not the point. I actually trust the CPU a lot. It is clocked at 3.1 GHz. It's got a turbo speed of 3.4 GHz, which is actually amazing. It is a socket AM4. So if you've got an AM4 slot motherboard, or if you could get your hands on one, I definitely recommend buying this CPU because it actually sells for like $95, and you could get your hands on it with like way cheaper than that if you buy it used. It is a quad-core CPU. It's got 4 cores and 4 threads, so it's basically the equivalent of 8 cores. As I said before, it's got a max turbo frequency of 3.4 GHz. It's got 8 MB of L3 cache and 2 MB of L2 cache. It supports DDR4 memory, which is awesome, and yeah, it's basically a decent CPU if you want to game with it, and it is actually way cheaper than the other CPU that I recommended. So this CPU is actually the king of budget CPUs right now, and I definitely recommend buying this one. Okay, so coming up at number 3, we've got the Intel Core i3 7100. So finally an Intel CPU. So I don't really like this CPU because it's an i3, just based on the fact that it is an i3. If possible, I would really recommend buying an AMD Ryzen 3 1200. If you've got a Kaby Lake motherboard with an LGA 1151 socket laying around in your house, I would definitely recommend buying this CPU, as it will cost you a lot cheaper than actually buying another motherboard and buying another CPU. So basically buying the CPU will cost you a lot cheaper. One downside is it only supports Windows 10. This CPU only supports Windows 10. It's got a base frequency of 3.9 GHz, which is awesome. So it's basically 4 GHz, it's like almost 4 GHz, which is actually awesome. It actually supports DDR4 memory, it's got an integrated graphics card, which is an Intel HD graphics 630. You can basically, if you buy the CPU and you don't have a actual graphics card, you could actually function with this CPU like only because it actually got a dedicated graphics card built in. You could basically run some games from like 2005 without a graphics card, but paired with the actual GTX 1050, for example, this CPU could actually deliver a great performance. So I definitely recommend buying this one if you actually have the motherboard beforehand. Other than that, I would definitely recommend buying an AMD Ryzen 3 instead of this. The Intel Core i3 actually sells for like around $120. So yeah, moving on from that. Okay, so coming up at number 4, we've got the AMD FX 8350. So this is a AMD FX CPU. It's from 2012. It's got 8 cores and 8 threads, which is basically the equivalent of 16 cores, which is actually awesome. It is clocked at 4 GHz, which is super fast. I really like the CPU. If you could get your hands on one of these, definitely get one of these, okay? Because it is actually awesome. It's got a lot of cores and it could deliver a good performance. The single core score for this one is 76 points. It also scored 295 points on the quad core test and 482 points in the multi-core score. So it's got a great multi-core performance. Paired with the right graphics card, this CPU could actually deliver an amazing and smooth experience whilst playing games. So definitely buy this one. This CPU actually sells for $120. And you could basically get it for like $100 like used or something. I mean, keep in mind, this CPU is from like 2012. So you could basically get it for like way cheaper than $120. And last but not least, we've got the number 5 spot. We've got the Intel Pentium G4560. So this is basically the cheapest way to be able to play AAA games. It is way cheap. It goes around for like around $60 brand new. So if you could get it used, you'll be able to get it for way cheaper prices basically. It has got 2 cores. It is a dual core processor and it also got 4 threads. So it's basically the equivalent of 6 cores. It is clocked at 3.5 GHz and it's got 109 points in the single core test, 294 points in the quad core, and it also got 294 points in the multi-core test. So basically it's not the best CPU to ever get, but actually it is way cheap. You could actually spare a lot of money if you buy this one. You could actually have a smooth experience playing with this CPU. It's not that great for gaming. It is awesome for editing. It is awesome for like Photoshop. You could actually run GTA 5 and some other AAA games basically on it, and paired with the right graphics card, you can actually run a lot of games on this CPU, and you can definitely enjoy your time playing with this CPU. But anyways guys, this will wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found your dream CPU basically in this video. If you did, then be sure to leave a like on today's video. Also be sure to hit the subscribe button because I upload 2 videos every single week. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload of mine. Also, I'm on my way to 1,000 subscribers and all help would be appreciated. And with that being said, if you have any suggestions, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. Share this video with your friends. If you have a friend that is struggling to find a CPU, just give them this video to help them out basically. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
I met a wise man on a mountaintop, and then I asked him what's the secret part. The people down below, we all want to know how to play the game of life before we got to go. He looked at me and said, I've